наших снах. Время как лед замедляет шаг, но не дает повернуть назад. Свет отражается в лужах пустых, но не спасает чужих и своих. Я не ищу уже новый маршрут, слишком давно я остался тут. Слава как код не для всех открыт, каждый здесь прячет свой алгоритм. Я не герой, не чей-то враг, я просто выбрал свой личный мрак и продолжаю идти без слов среди закрытых чужих миров, где каждый звук превращается в тень и растворяется в серый день. Ни слова, только тишина, ни слова и ночь без дна. Ни слова, я вне имен, я стал частью этих зон. Пустые подъезды, глухие дворы, каждый здесь ищет свои миры. Свет фонарей режет тишину, но я уже не иду ко дну. Слова не значит уже ничего, правда исчезла внутри него. Я не верю ни взглядом, ни снам, каждый здесь сам себе капкан. Серые крыши давят внутри, каждый здесь тонет в своей игре. Я не оставлю ни имя, ни след, там где я был уже ничего нет. Я продолжаю идти сквозь шум, где каждый второй потерял свой ум. И остаюсь среди этих стен, без лишних слов и перемен. Ни слова, только тишина, ни слова и ночь без дна. Ни слова, я вне имен, я стал частью этих зон. Город как схема, холодный расчет, каждый здесь знает, но не назовет. Свет не спасает, он только слепит и оставляет один на один. Деньги мелькают, как быстрый свет, но не дают никакой ответ. Люди приходят и сразу уходят, и ничего за собой не находят. Я растворился в этом ритме, стал спокойным в этом мире. Я не вернусь туда, где был.
Think about that conviction of Karmelo and justified when you get found guilty. Yeah. What about the stabbing METCALF in the chest, killing him, got found guilty? Karmelo Anthony did, young boy stabbed him. Tried to say that was self-defense. How's that self-defense? He got a knife in school grounds. A lot of protesters out there upset because he got found guilty. Only thing he had to do was leave from the tent. They was asking him to leave from the tent, and he said he wasn't going nowhere. So at that point, he was looking for trouble, right? And he knew he had a knife in his book bag. And he said, if you touch me, watch what happens. So you premeditated what you said. See, once you say, touch me and watch what happens, you already got intentions in your mind what you're going to do to somebody that touch you. Then you got a knife in your book bag on school grounds. Why not fight it? If it was that serious, like with Quasir and Raymond, if it's that serious, why y'all just don't fight? With Quasir dig in his bag and pull out a knife and stab Raymond in the chest because of their disagreement? Or would they just stay away from each other and de-escalate the situation and just don't say nothing to each other? And eventually they'd be cool. To live another day to talk about it, right? But he took in his own hands, he took into his own hands to pull a knife out and stab this young man in the chest and kill him. That wasn't justifiable, man, when he could have just walked away from the situation. That was Mac. That was you on school grounds bringing a knife to school. That's violation number one right there. You ain't supposed to bring no weapons to school. So you was looking for trouble the whole time. You was looking for trouble. And you only got what you was looking for. So my question is this. Oh, they pushed you and they saying for him to pull out a knife in his bag to stab him on school grounds is justifiable homicide, and that's self-defense? Bullshit. Bullshit. I can't believe some of these YouTubers with these platforms. For example, Willie D. I've been stopped fucking with Willie D, man. Willie D is a clone, man. That motherfucker got cloned. When he made that song, Coon, he had to be talking about himself, man. And that's a 100% fact. Saying it was justifiable for somebody to push you, for you to pull a knife out and stab him and say self-defense on school grounds. Why ain't he just fighting? Why ain't he just fight the boy? To live another day, both of them. Now one going and one going to jail for 35 years. Was it worth it? That's the question. And some of these YouTubers with these platforms are clones that work for AI, that's looking to cause mass confusion amongst the peoples. Because goddamn it, if my son in school, on school grounds, goddamn it, and he get violated and stabbed or shot, goddamn it, I'm gonna be highly upset. You understand me? And not only that, it'll be a hell of a lawsuit. A hell of a lawsuit. But some of these pro-black YouTubers channels should be shut down. 100% fact. They justifying a homicide and claiming self-defense when Karmelo Anthony could have just fought him on school grounds. They both would have got suspended, but they would have both been here. So nah, I can't buy into that what these pro-blacks out here doing, man. It's embarrassing. Very embarrassing that these pro-blacks out here defending fuck shit, man. When these jokers could have just fought. Karmelo Anthony was scared to fight. That's what it was. He was scared to fight. God damn it. Well, god damn it, he gonna have to fight now. He most definitely gonna have to fight now. When he go upstate, down there in Texas, god damn it. And you know a lot of them prison guards are biased and racist like a motherfucker. So he gonna have to fight, god damn it. Cause you gonna get pushed. Cause you going up there with the goons now. Nothing but goons up in that motherfucking prisons, man. And you mean to tell me one of them goons push you, is you gonna still have that same energy that you had for METCALF? God damn it. Hell no. Gonna be in that bitch crying. 100% crying. Like a motherfucker. Just like you was in court crying when you got found guilty. You little savage. You want to do savage things, you're going to do savage time, goddammit, with the goons. But I want to see if you had that same energy for them goons that's going to push your ass around upstate, goddammit, because that's where you going for 35 years, goddammit. And you better hope you make it out, goddammit, without being violated, okay? Because you might got some of METCALF family members already waiting for you when you get up in that motherfucker. Meaning security guards. Because they say them, as they would say, quote and unquote, them rednecks, security guards is racist, yeah? And they damn sure gonna be racist towards his little ass. God damn it, you just turned 18. God damn it, welcome to the real world. God damn it, upstate. With the goons that's gonna be pushing your ass around like crazy. And I wanna see if you had that same goddamn energy for them goons that's gonna be pushing your ass around. Right back, ladies and gentlemen. Right back. Yeah, these pro-blacks trying to justify that shit, man. Out there marching and protesting over someone that, not only that, what example are y'all setting for the kids that it's okay to go out there and stab somebody? You motherfucking niggas done lost y'all mind, man. Not all my peoples. Y'all know the ones, though. The ones that's looking to cause mass confusion. For real. That's all they here to do is cause mass confusion, man. You got the Panthers and all these motherfuckers out there. Free Karmelo for what? Y'all justifying what the fuck he did. God damn it, when y'all should be in your own goddamn community right now. Because I'm quite sure it's happening. And I seen it this morning on the news. God damn it. Fucking Negroes. Unalive a female, a 42-year-old mother of 4, unalived her to death with a brick. God damn it. Where y'all at? Where the outrage at for that? This woman was beat to death with a brick in North Philadelphia. They not talking about that. God damn it, but they out damn in Texas worrying about Karmelo Anthony, who wanted to do grown men shit on school property with a motherfucking blade. His intentions was to stab somebody, y'all. If you bringing a knife to school or a gun to school, your intentions are to do harm to someone. That's all it can be. It can't be nothing else. You can't justify that shit. That's why I said most of these YouTuber platforms, them motherfuckers are clones and they're here to cause mass confusion amongst the peoples, man. Especially coon ass Willie D. He made that song for himself, man. He tried to justify self-defense when the motherfucker Karmelo Anthony could have just fought him. If he put his hand, if he claiming allegedly he pushed you, you could have fought him. Y'all both would have got suspended, and y'all both would have been here. But you choose to take another young man's life because you were scared of him. That's what it was. You were scared of him. Karmelo Anthony was scared of that METCALF. METCALF probably would have beat the dog shit out of him under that tent. And it was raining. So he wanted to go under the tent to keep from getting wet. Come on, man. He could have went to another tent. If they ain't want him under that tent because they probably knew in school, here come this nigga. They probably was black fatigued like a motherfucker. And then here come this nigga. I ain't going nowhere. Put your hands on me and watch what happens. So you had intentions in your mind to do harm to someone. God damn it. That was your whole intentions. And then plunged your knife into that young man's chest, man. Come on, man. And then you got these niggas. These ungrateful, delusional niggas. That's why they don't take niggas serious no more, man. Oh, look, we don't get no justice. We don't get justice for what? God damn it. Well, y'all always causing mass confusion amongst the peoples. God damn it. Y'all don't even like your own peoples. You hear people always say, black folks are their worst enemy. And that's a 100% fact. Black folks are their worst enemy, y'all. Facts. 100% facts, not fiction, goddammit. I'm not buying into that shit, man, with these Negroes, man. These Negroes are just here to cause mass confusion, man. What they known for. Mass confusion amongst the peoples. These fake pro-black Negroes in these organizations are here to cause mass confusion, man. 100% fact, not fiction. Whoever out that motherfucker protesting over some shit like that do not deserve to be on the face of the earth, man. That's a fact, man. They the enemy amongst their own peoples, man. They the enemy amongst their own peoples, man. No justice, no peace for free Karmelo. Y'all justifying unaliving another student when they could have just fought. You on school grounds, my nigga. You can't bring weapons on school grounds. God damn it. You can't bring weapons on school grounds. But yet, back at the ranch, go inside each and every one of their black communities is black on black violence. And you don't see none of this outrage. In their communities on black crime. That happens every day. Black folk getting unalive. Like I said in Philadelphia. The young lady just got unalive. She got bricked to death. These two motherfuckers allegedly beat this lady to death with a brick and stole her pocketbook. And 9 times out of 10, they ain't get nothing out of that motherfucker, man. Why ain't they talking about that? But they talking about up in Philadelphia, neighborhood. I told y'all Philadelphia is a moot town, y'all. I keep saying that in videos. Philadelphia is a moot goddamn city, man. And that's all they care about is those fucking mooks and them illegal migrants. That's all they fight for. They don't fight for their own peoples that's unaliving each other every day when you cut the goddamn news on, goddammit. They don't speak up on that. They speak up on all negativity shit. For example, they so goddamn Trump deranged, they was all upset because Trump attended the fucking game. Come on, man. What the fuck is wrong with these niggas, man? These niggas is ashamed of being black out this motherfucker at this point, man. Not all my peoples, man. Not all my peoples out here, man. But majority of these niggas out here, man, are sad, man. Bunch of sad ass niggas, man. For real. That's a fact. 100% fact, man. Don't want to do nothing, want to feel sorry for themselves and shit. Don't want to do what's right for the community. Get in your own goddamn community and solve all the violence that's going on in them communities. Nah. They rather justify some fuck shit behind METCALF bringing a fucking knife to school, unaliving a young man because he was scared to fight him. Saying stand your ground. They ain't standing your ground. First of all, stand your ground, goddammit, is totally different than what the fuck you niggas got going on. Stand your ground because you got pushed in school because they ain't want this nigga in their tent. God damn it, he should have fought him. That's all he had to do was fight him, man. He was scared to fight him because that white boy would have beat dog shit out of him. Facts. He's getting tired of niggas. And he probably said, man, get up out of our tent. We don't want you up in here. Oh, man, who you talking to with that old nigga shit? Ain't nobody trying to hear that crackhead. This, that, man, get the fuck up out our tent. Put your hands on me and watch what happens. Bitch made ass niggas. Scared to fight. Quick to run to a gun or a knife. God damn it. That's what it clearly shows. He was scared to fight that white boy. That white boy would have beat dog shit out that boy, nigga. Facts. Facts, not fiction. METCALF would have beat the dog shit out of Karmelo Anthony. And he was scared to fight him. Facts. And then dig in his little fucking bag and pull out a knife and stab. That was scared. He was scared. God damn it. You should have de-escalated the problem, God damn it. And left out the tent. That's all you had to do. Is leave out that tent, God damn it. That's all you had to do. That's all that Negro had to do was leave, man. You know why he didn't leave? Because he was there he was looking for trouble. God damn it. That's what he was there for. Looking for trouble. Showing the fuck off. But my thing is this, and I'ma stand on this. You about to go to a house where ain't nothing but goons in that motherfucker. We talking about the prison, God damn it. We talking about behind them walls, God damn it. Where they gonna push you, God damn it. You gonna get tested. Everybody in the world that hit behind them walls get tested. Is you gonna have that same energy when you get behind them walls? Your new home for 35 years, God damn it. Huh? Mommy and daddy ain't there to help you. Them niggas that's out there, that's capping, protesting, they ain't gonna help you either. God damn it, they ain't gonna even send you nothing. Your books, only thing gonna be on your books is from your family. God damn it, you created this goddamn story. Stand on that shit, nigga. Stand on it. You wanted to be, oh, you touch me, watch what happens. You touch me, watch what happens. Okay. Them niggas upstate gonna touch you all day, every day. Facts. Them guards, and it might just be the guards. It just might be the guards that's gonna be pushing your ass around when you get up in that motherfucker. Pushing your ass on that bus to go upstate. Is you gonna dig into your little book bag and stab them? Hell no. God damn it. Hell no. You ain't gonna do it. God damn it. Goddamn idiot. That's all you was an idiot. Looking to cause trouble. You was looking for trouble that day, young man. You was looking for trouble, and you unalived that young man for no reason. Because they ain't want you in their tent. God damn it, you should have kept it moving. Yeah, we back here. I'm most definitely play a video up in Philadelphia showing this young lady got unalived. Motherfuckers beat her to death with bricks. 42 years old, a mother of 4. Where the outrage at? But you got the outrage out there because the police trying to maintain the gay, what they call it, neighborhood. Sick, man. Philly is sick, man. All these sanctuary cities is sick, man. Straight up. Sick than a motherfucker, man. And these Negroes out here engaging into that fuck shit. Never fails, man, with these Negroes, man. Negroes ain't nothing but fucking followers, man. You can tell they followers because they went out there and took that experiment. God damn it. I think that experiment got a whole lot to do with some of these motherfucking lunatics out here losing their motherfucking minds and shit, man. Facts. I told y'all that shit was an experiment, man. And guess what? Half you niggas lined up and took that shit. God damn it, and you lost your fucking mind out here. 100% fact, not fiction. 100% fact, not fiction. God damn it, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, God damn it. Y'all engaging into fuckery. Young man lost his life and y'all out that bitch talking about free Karmelo Anthony. Come on, man, stop. Y'all trying to justify some fuck shit. Niggas don't, that's why motherfuckers don't take you niggas serious at all. Don't take you niggas serious. You niggas is jokes out this motherfucker. Not all my peoples. Y'all know the ones though. It's a handful of them out here. It's a handful of these ignorant ass niggas out here, man. Facts. It's a handful of these niggas, man, that need to go. Go back to Africa, goddammit. That's where y'all need to go. They should ship them. Hey, deport them niggas back to Africa, King Trump. They always claiming they want to go back to the motherland. Deport their ass back to the motherland and see how fast they be crying to get back. God damn it. See how fast they be crying to get back when they get to Africa. And find out that them people in Africa don't even like American Negroes. Facts. Them Africans don't even like American Negroes. Facts. And then you got these pro-blackly blacks that's out this motherfucker capping, looking to cause mass confusion once again. Let's cause mass confusion amongst the peoples. Let's cause mass confusion. Let's get out there and protest. Hopefully, maybe they'll all join us and walk us to our own demise. God damn it. These pro-blackity blacks, man. I used to be into that pro-blackity black shit. And I realized, man, the white man ain't the enemy, god damn it. It's you niggas that's the enemy, god damn it. Not all my peoples, but y'all know the ones that's only around to cause mass confusion. I was down with it to get in the neighborhood to prevent the black on black violence, but they don't want to get to that. That's too hard for them. They rather go out that motherfucker and cap for some fuck shit. And I said, hold up. They always saying the white man this, the white man that, the white man, and the whole time it's these niggas, man. These niggas are the problem. God damn it. Not all my peoples. Y'all know the ones though. Y'all know the ones. Facts. Self-defense. Claiming self-defense. How you gonna claim self-defense on bringing a weapon to school though? You on school grounds though. God damn it. So it's okay for your son or your daughter to be in school and bump into somebody or step on somebody's sneakers, because you know how niggas are. When you step on their sneakers, they quick to kill you, unalive you. Nigga, what you doing? You pushed me, you stepped on my... Now you got these pro-blackity blacks supporting that shit. Supporting that shit. And then wondering why it's black on black violence every day, all day. And they don't care nothing about that shit. They pick and choose their battles, y'all. Pay attention, y'all. These niggas are the enemy, man. For real, these niggas worse than the KKK, man. Facts. They trying to justify some fuck shit, man. They trying to justify Karmelo Anthony unaliving this young man in school, on school grounds. Sad, man. Free Karmelo Anthony. Get the fuck out of here. I want to see if that nigga had that same energy with them goons that he gonna be locked up with for 35 years, man. Is he gonna have that same energy? God damn it. Huh? I bet you he don't. He gonna have that same energy for them guards, as they would say, them redneck guards that hate niggas. Down there in Texas, oh man. He about to go through it. And them same Negroes, nigbots. I call them nigbots. Ain't gonna send him a dime. His book's gonna be emptied in a motherfucker. God damn it. His book's gonna be emptied in a motherfucker. God damn it. The ties with the fat gut, man. Hold on, y'all. That's ties in front of us. That all fat and shit. Sure, fat man. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, is he gonna have that same energy? Or is those pro-blackity blacks gonna have that same energy when as they would say, redneck guards treating him like shit, pushing him around, pushing him on the bus, pushing him off the bus? Is he gonna dig into his little bag and stab one of them guards or stab one of them inmates? God damn it. Huh? Man, you considered a celebrity with all the limelight you was getting. God damn it, you gonna most definitely get tested up in the jump. And that's a fact. That's a 100% fact. So what I think about the case and shit, he only got what he deserved, y'all. He got 35 years. He wanted to do grown man shit in school, bringing a weapon on school grounds, y'all. And y'all justifying that shit as self-defense? Come on, man. What the fuck wrong with these niggas? Willie D, you the biggest coon out there, motherfucker. And the rest of you YouTubers that's out there justifying that shit, looking for excuses. Cause you got on your platform and you was running your dick suckers. You was running your dick suckers for your audience. And you was dead wrong. Y'all was running your dick suckers for your little audience that you got, and y'all was dead wrong. God damn it. Not having the facts and none of that shit. They say even his own friends said he was wrong for that shit, man. That was there. Y'all wasn't there. Y'all was just getting third-party information. His own friend said he was wrong for doing that shit, man. Come on, man. He should have just fought him. You know why he ain't fighting? Because that white boy would have beat dog shit out that nigga, man. Facts. Facts. He would have beat the dog shit out of Karmelo Anthony on the motherfucking school grounds under that tent. Straight up. And he would have been embarrassed, goddammit. He would have been solely embarrassed by getting his ass whipped. Facts. But what we gonna do now, I'm gonna show y'all something. How these niggas are done lost their mind, man. These niggas done lost their mind out this motherfucker, man. Out there participating in some fuck shit behind a motherfucker that was dead ass wrong, man. He was wrong, man. I ain't justifying that shit. Not at all. Not on my watch. The pro-blackity blacks, they got the Black Panthers out there. That's not even in their own community. Stopping the violence that's going on right now. Where the outrage at? Where the outrage at? Huh? Where the outrage for this young lady that just lost her life? That these lunatics decide to take a brick and beat this young lady to death with a brick. Huh? Where the outrage at, goddammit? Huh? Where the outrage at for that? Pro-blackity blacks? But like I said, Philadelphia, not talking about it. Because they Trump deranged and they into that gayborhood and LGBT mooks. That's all they defend. But check this video out right here.
And deadly attack that played out on North Philadelphia Street. A warning here, the details here are hard to hear. This is surveillance video Now we have frozen in the moment before the man captured here on camera beats a woman with a brick, then kicks her to death as she laid on that sidewalk. Tonight, Philadelphia police searching for any evidence they can as they work to identify and arrest that man and an alleged accomplice. And as we're now hearing from the victim's stunned friends and acquaintances, Action News' Walter Perez live at police headquarters tonight. Walter, what are investigators telling you right now?
Right, they tell me they are eager to get the two men linked to this horrific case behind bars, a case that ended with the murder of a mother of 4, among those children, an 11-month-old baby. This shadowy scene, recorded on surveillance video, is part of the police investigation. It reveals the lead-up to a brutal murder that took place very early Sunday morning in North Philadelphia. You can see a man throwing a woman to the ground in an alleyway on the 2600 block of North 24th Street. We will not show you how it ends due to its graphic nature. That man goes on to repeatedly club the woman on her head with a brick before stomping on her face and chest. That victim, identified as 45-year-old Keisha Farlow, was killed. People who knew Keisha say they are simply horrified.
We human beings at the end of the day. I do something wrong, we don't talk. But you know what, demons out here.
Tonight, police are searching for the man in the video, along with another man who was allegedly somehow involved. Police officials say those two men fled the scene on foot with the victim's purse. That purse, with nothing left inside, was later recovered by police a few blocks away. Neighbors from this part of the city say this kind of senseless violence needs to stop.
You see how this world goes down. He would have got heartless. There's no heart, you know what I'm saying? I can't.
No heart, because they defending Karmelo Anthony stabbing a young man to death on school grounds. Bringing a knife to school, though. Facts.
You did that in my head.
I hope whoever did it, I hope that justice is brought, because she didn't seem to bother anybody in this community, and it's just, I just don't understand it.
Investigators tell me they're working some good leads in this case at this point, but so far no arrests have been made, so anyone with information is asked to contact police.
Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, back at the ranch, while lady just was brick kicked to death. See what these mooks talking about in the neighborhood that they defended. Once again, like I said, Philadelphia is a known mook town, a mook city that protects mooks and illegal migrants. Once again, another sanctuary city. Let's go.
Of police force, dozens of people rallied tonight accusing Philadelphia police of going too far during Pride celebrations yesterday in the neighborhood. We have reaction from both sides. Action News reporter Leland Pinder is at police headquarters.
Police say there were 15 arrests on Sunday, mostly for disorderly conduct, but there was one arrest for aggravated assault on a police officer.
It's just a mess right now. It's not about it.
Video from Philadelphia's neighborhood Sunday evening shows a heavy police presence during Pride celebrations along 13th Street. Crowds appear to be confined to sidewalks, blocked by barricades and unable to move freely. One tense confrontation between a man and two officers caught on camera before a third officer appears to step in and de-escalate. Another video reportedly shows the aftermath of someone who was tackled to the ground by police. Anger in response Monday evening as a large group marched through parts of Center City.
The city needs to do better. And when I'm speaking about the city, I'm talking directly to our police department.
Jason Bowman, president of Philadelphia Black Pride, is not associated with the group who organized Monday's protest, but is also calling out officers' behavior.
Protect and serve, not agitate and aggravate.
Police say Pride events were peaceful earlier in the day, but crowds moved into the neighborhood sooner than expected, creating conditions prompting police intervention. Police cited fights, disorderly behavior, and blocked streets before moving to clear parts of the area. In a statement, Commissioner Kevin Bethel said in part, that decision was not made in any way, shape, or form because people were celebrating Pride. It was made because officers were increasingly dealing with public safety issues and reached a point where we could no longer safely maintain the conditions that existed on those blocks.
There needs to be a formal investigation to how those police acted against them queer people yesterday.
Commissioner Bethel says he is taking concerns very seriously, and there will be a review of crowd control decisions and officer conduct, including officers wearing masks, which is not permitted by Philadelphia police policy. Here outside police headquarters, Leland Pinder, Channel 6, Action News.
Urgent search for the suspects in the murder of a Penn State student. A memorial is growing now.
Where the outrage in the street for this Penn State student that was murdered in the streets of Philadelphia. Y'all pick and choose your battles. It's sad. God damn it, y'all protect them LGBT mooks and them illegal migrants. But when it comes to the citizens of America, God damn it, there's no love. What about this student here? Another student doing everything he's supposed to do right, and somebody unalived him. Where the outrage at? Philadelphia?
South Philadelphia. For 22-year-old Billy Schmidt.
He left a neighborhood bar on Saturday when two people approached him on Dorfer Street near 20th Street. Police say one of them stole his cell phone before the killing. This case is now getting national attention. ABC's Rhiannon Alley is following the latest.
Look, niggas.
This morning, a family desperate for answers.
I guess them same motherfuckers that's trying to protect Karmelo Anthony will protect these Negroes for unaliving this Penn State student. Niggas is sad. Not all my peoples, but y'all know the ones. They're pro-blackity blacks.
Is it travesty?
While police search for the men involved in the murder of a Penn State senior killed just steps away from his Philadelphia home.
God damn it.
Billy Schmidt was a 22-year-old digital journalism
22
student
years
who was
old.
walking home from a local bar after watching the NBA Finals early Saturday morning. Surveillance video given to the police from homes in the neighborhood showing
these
the moments
niggas,
before the shooting.
these Karmelo Anthony ass Negroes.
Billy then pursuing the man on foot. But as they turn the corner, one man throws Billy's cell phone into the street. The other turns around and shoots him.
Wow.
Billy's dad found his son's cell phone under a car and immediately gave it to police.
Wow.
I'm shocked. When they stole his phone, he chased the kid. When he got to the corner, another guy came out on that side and they shot.
Penn State telling ABC News in a statement, "We are heartbroken over the tragic death of William Schmidt. His father is angry."
I want to find the two people and make it back.
Rhiannon out.
The pro-blackity blacks were defending this though. They said they want justice for the two Negroids, Nigbots that did this. Sad, man.
Channel 6 Action News.
Tonight, a pizza delivery driver shot and killed on the job. And now Philadelphia police are looking for whoever pulled the trigger. The 28-year-old was gunned down while making a delivery to a vacant property.
Our Jill Croce live tonight at police headquarters. And Jill, you spoke to people who knew the driver.
Man trying to make an honest living, and these nigbots, once again, destroying the communities, their own worst enemy, unaliving people that's trying to make an honest living, man. Here we go again. Where the outrage at, goddammit? Huh? Where the outrage at? Y'all should be in the streets. But y'all in the streets for the neighborhoods, neighborhood mooks. Sad. Very sad.
The 28-year-old victim was clocked in at Pete's Pizza off Ridge Avenue in North Philadelphia when his delivery took a fatal turn. The manager there described him as a good guy and always willing to work. He also worked at the location's West Philadelphia spot.
You don't know what can happen. Just doing your job, just being around here.
Philadelphia police are continuing the search for the suspect behind the fatal shooting of a 28-year-old pizza delivery driver just after 12:30 a.m. Friday. Earlier Friday morning, Chief Inspector Scott Small credited ShotSpotter technology with indicating gunshots in the area. That's when 22nd District Police and Housing Police responded to Raymond Rosen Homes' courtyard.
He was laying on the ground, unresponsive, bleeding heavily with a gunshot wound to his head.
Chief Inspector Small says 3 shots were fired from a semi-automatic weapon.
All 3 spent shell casings were just a few inches away from where this victim was laying on the ground.
First responders also located the victim's vehicle, which still had a pizza warmer inside. Inside the vacant property, 3 pizza boxes and a bag were left unopened.
Somehow when he went outside the property, that's where he was shot.
Police haven't shared any description of the shooter, but John A. wants to see the person held accountable.
He need to go to jail. He need to be locked up ASAP. They need to find him.
Police say Philadelphia Housing Authority.
Same way Metcalf lost his life. Justice was served. Karmelo Anthony was guilty. Bringing a knife on school grounds is a violation to the school policy. Okay? Okay, Willie D? You clone ass nigga?
He has cameras and they captured the delivery man walking and 2 others following the would-be victim. Private cameras are also being looked at. Pete's Pizza off Ridge Avenue was in the news twice in 2024, once in June for a delivery driver gunned down outside the shop, and in November when a man was gunned down inside. And there's a $20,000 reward up for grabs for any information leading to an arrest and conviction. Anyone with information, you're asked to contact the homicide unit in front of police headquarters. Jill Croce, Fox 29 News, Dawn.
All right, back to this mass shooting
in Mercer County, where 7 people were shot.
What have they sorted out anything on this one, Morgan?
Mike, we haven't heard details yet exactly what led up to the shooting or the suspect or suspects that are involved, so police are still investigating. But this happened around 10:30 last night, right on Center and Furman Streets, and police say when they arrived on scene, that's when they found that 7 people suffering from gunshot wounds. All 7 victims were taken to the hospital. We know that 2 of them are in critical condition and the remaining 5 are listed in stable condition. And if you take a look at that video, I mean, it was active for hours until at least 3 o'clock this morning. And you can see all the markers on the ground. We believe there were nearly 40. We saw that a cluster of shots were fired in one area of the street and then just...
Where the outrage at? Pro-blackity blacks? Huh? Where the outrage at?
A little bit down the road, we saw a bunch more. So again, we're waiting on details, but we do know that the Mercer County shooting response team is investigating. So hopefully we get an update on those 7 victims who are currently being treated. Mike, Alex.
All right, when you hear more, let us know. Thank you, 6:30.
When these Nick bots found out Karmelo Anthony was found guilty, let's listen to him. Nick bots.
My editor just told me he's one of your folks. Oh shit! Guilty of murder?
Of course, goddammit. Of course he's guilty of murder. He murdered that young man. He brought a knife to school. You cannot have weapons in school. If it's a stand your ground law, you don't bring weapons to school. Idiots. He should have fought him. That white boy would have whipped his ass. Facts.
All right, like this. Guilty of murder. Oh my Lord. Guilty of murder. Guilty of murder. Guilty of murder. That's it.
No manslaughter. He murdered that young man.
Guilty of murder on Fox right now. They say guilty.
He murdered that young man.
They say guilty of murder. Guilty of murder.
Y'all wrong. I swear to God, don't sing this shit that I'm tired. I'm tired. I don't give a fuck. I'm tired. That is sick. That is sick.
Get in your community, young lady. Get in your community, ma'am. And stop the violence that's going on that black on black crime. Huh? You justifying some fuck shit. God damn it. That's what you out there doing, looking like a fool.
That is sick. You went through the same shit.
Guilty of murder. No man. Guilty of murder.
Niggas is crazy, dog. Murdered that man.
I was very bullshit ass first. Let's fuck y'all.
Take your ass home. Take your ass home. Take your evil ass home. You're absolutely right. God is in control.
I'm angry and I'm hurt. I'm angry because you warned me I was in there too. Oh, here come the people. I don't want to hear. Here come the people. Oh, you got it.
They out there trying to justify a homicide, talking about self-defense. How was that self-defense? Huh? If the young man allegedly pushed him, he should have fought him. God damn it. He gonna get pushed around when he upstate. The guard's gonna push him around. As y'all would say, the rednecks that hate niggas. Especially in Texas. God damn it. Is he gonna dig in his bag and stab them?
Now too goddamn big. You doing all this shit. He gon' say something.
I ain't say this. I will say this one time. One time only. I speak on behalf of myself, Minister Dominic Alexander. I speak on behalf of myself as the president of the Next Generation Action Network. The Next Generation Action Network wanted to respect this process, to be able to make sure that nobody said that the Next Generation Action Network.
What type of example are y'all setting for the kids that's coming behind y'all? Old fuck asses. Huh? What examples are y'all setting? Y'all letting the kids know it's okay to go out here and commit a crime and unalive somebody because they disagree, ain't want you in their tent? He should have moved on.
Disrupted this process, interfered in this process. But what this process did is show that black lives do not matter in Collin County.
Black lives don't matter, goddammit. Look in your community and look what's going on right now as you doing this video. Are you speaking? Black folks unaliving black folks every day, all day. God damn it. And unaliving people that's productive citizens of America. That's making something of their life.
It showed us that time and time in American history, it has shown us to remove emotions from yet the law. This trial showed that it put emotions over the law. After Trayvon Martin and so many countless names, it has shown us that black life is not safe in Collin County. It showed us that they did not listen to the law. It showed clearly.
You can't bring no weapons to school. And not only that, he should have fought him. God damn it. He should have fought him.
Fear in this process, it showed very clearly that a black boy was allowed, not one black soul on a jury. An all white jury convicted him in 2 to 3 hours.
That's right. It was an open shut case, goddammit. It was an open shut case, goddammit. He was wrong. And y'all trying to justify that shit, talk about his self-defense. Bullshit.
We know that they did not prove their case. They are currently sentencing Karmelo Anthony. But we know that the Next Generation Action Network put the first $10,000 towards an appellate attorney. And we will fight Collin County like hell. I respected this process. I allowed and called for peace in this process. But Black America should be very upset about what went on.
Not at all. Not at all, goddammit. Don't say Black America. It's only you handful of ignorant niggas that's out that bitch looking to justify some fuck shit.
Today. Now, before all of the internet lawyers and before all of the interpretation of the situation, I'm only an advocacy leader. I'm not an attorney. I can only help families be able to navigate these processes when they find themselves in this type of situation. I can only allow lawyers to be what they are, lawyers. I can't instruct them. I can't stop them from doing anything. I have to respect the process just like anybody else. But what we saw today was flawed, unjust, and I ask that the community continue to pray for the Anthony family. I do not speak for them, but I know that the Next Generation H Network will be here and support. My heart hurts right now.
Wow.
Because in ignorance of the law, what's done here today.
These niggas is ignorant, man.
We posted the jury instructions. And right now, what we are seeing is a travesty.
How can 12 jurors look at the exact same video clip and see two completely different crimes? In a Texas courtroom, prosecutors just dropped the definitive footage of the moment Austin Metcalf was fatally stabbed under a team tent. But depending on who you ask, this tape either seals a life sentence or proves total innocence. The most shocking part is that the jury just heard the defendant's exact words recorded on a live police body cam just seconds after the blade was dropped. But the defense claims the state is hiding the real story. A severe physical threat from a football player over 60 pounds heavier. We are breaking down the exact frame-by-frame footage the jury saw, so you can decide.
Karmelo Anthony was scared to fight him. He was scared to death to fight that white boy. That white boy would have beat boot shit down his leg. Facts.
And the verdict for yourself. If you want the real truth behind the headlines, hit subscribe to US Crime Cases right now. We break down the evidence, so you decide. When I first looked at this case, I had to stop and just take a deep breath. You see these headlines, and it is so easy to forget that we are talking about real kids, real families whose lives were completely destroyed in a matter of minutes. The date is April 2nd, 2025. We are at David Kuykendall Stadium in Frisco, Texas. It is supposed to be a standard, routine high school track and field event. If you've ever been to one of these, you know exactly what the vibe is like. It is usually a good time, right? Hundreds of teenagers are hanging out, laughing, and eating snacks. Coaches with clipboards are yelling times. Parents are scattered across the metal bleachers with their phones out, ready to record their kids running. It is just a normal, everyday community event. Austin Metcalf was there. Austin was not just a name on a police report or a blurry figure in a courtroom video. He was a son, a varsity athlete, and a twin brother. His twin, Hunter, was right there with him that morning. They were Memorial High School students, big guys who played football, just hanging out together at a track meet on a Thursday morning. You think about the bond between twin brothers, the inside jokes, the shared life, and you just think, wow. It breaks my heart to know how this day ends for them. But the morning quickly takes a turn. If you live in Texas, you know how the weather works. A severe thunderstorm drops out of nowhere. The sky gets incredibly dark, the wind picks up, and heavy downpours suddenly roll in. Track meets do not just pack up and go home when it rains, they go into a weather delay. So you have dozens of student athletes scrambling across the field to get out of the storm. Everyone is running for cover. They start cramming under these small pop-up canopy tents set up by the different schools. You have probably seen them, just basic canvas tops with 4 metal legs. Suddenly, the environment instantly shifts. It goes from a wide-open sports stadium where everyone has space to breathe to a claustrophobic, high-tension waiting room. Teenagers are packed shoulder to shoulder. It is loud. The rain is hammering against the canvas roof. Kids are talking over each other, and they are completely trapped by the pouring rain outside. Under the Memorial High School team tent, the space is entirely filled with Memorial athletes. It is their designated spot. But sitting among them is a student from a rival school, 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony from Centennial High. He is sitting quietly on the metal bleachers under the canopy with his backpack resting on his lap, trying to stay dry, just like everyone else. He is alone in a sea of kids from another school. I see this kind of setup and I immediately know it is a recipe for trouble. This is where the collision point happens. It starts so small. Memorial students start noticing that a kid from another school is taking up space in their designated area. In high school, territorial stuff like that actually matters to teenagers. What starts as a few sideways glances and whispers quickly turns into a direct verbal confrontation. Enter Austin Metcalf and his twin brother, Hunter. Both are Memorial students, and they approach Karmelo. They look at him and tell him he needs to leave. Now, if you put yourself in their shoes for a second, you can kind of see both sides building up. To Austin and Hunter, this is their team's tent. Their teammates are standing in the rain while a kid from a rival school is taking up a dry seat. But if you look at it from Karmelo's perspective, the stadium layout is working against him. The tent is completely boxed in by the metal bleachers at his back and the massive storm right in front of him. There is no easy way to just stand up and walk away without pushing through a tight crowd of rival students into a heavy downpour. The verbal exchange between Austin and Karmelo only lasts about 2 minutes. 2 minutes. But in those 2 minutes, the tension skyrockets. The volume goes up. Other kids start turning around to watch. You know how it is when a crowd forms around an argument. The pressure to not back down gets so intense. Witnesses say Karmelo was asked to leave as many as 15 different times. 15 times. They told him to get up and go. He refuses. He stays sitting down, his hands in his lap near his backpack. I think about those 2 minutes a lot. If someone had just walked away, if a coach had walked by at that exact second, or if the rain had just let up, Austin would still be here. But none of that happened. This brief, stubborn argument over a simple seat under a tent instantly escalates into physical contact. We will talk more about exactly who touched who first when we look at the trial evidence. But the moment the physical line is crossed, everything breaks down. It is not like a movie where there is a long, drawn-out fight. It is terrifyingly fast. It is messy. In a matter of seconds, amidst a crowd of panicking teenagers, the shoving starts, and then a knife is pulled. A single strike is made. It happens so fast that most of the kids standing right next to them do not even realize a weapon was used. They probably just thought it was a hard punch. But then Austin Metcalf falls to the ground. When the police arrive, the chaos is absolute. I cannot even imagine the terror of being under that tent. Kids are screaming, crying, and running out into the rain. Austin is bleeding out on the wet rubber track. His twin brother, Hunter, is right there with him, screaming for help, watching his brother's life slip away right in front of him. Think about that for a second. Holding your own twin brother on the ground at a high school track meet, begging for an ambulance. It is the kind of trauma that a family never, ever recovers from. Meanwhile, Karmelo is detained near the edge of the stadium by the police. He does not run far. The cops put him in handcuffs, and the body cam captures everything he says. Both of their lives, Austin's and Karmelo's, are effectively over in the span of a 2-minute argument. Two families get that horrible phone call that no parent should ever have to answer. But when the trial finally begins, the jury realizes that figuring out who is legally at fault is not going to be easy at all. Because when the prosecution presses play on the surveillance video, they do not just show a tragedy. They paint a picture of a cold-blooded killer who knew exactly what he was doing when he unzipped that bag. When the prosecution finally stands up to address the jury, the energy in that courtroom shifts completely. You can actually feel it in the air. They do not hold back, not even for a second. They want the jury to look at that Frisco ISD stadium footage and see one very specific thing: a clear, undeniable case of provoked, unjustified murder. They are looking right at the jurors, making direct eye contact, trying to make them understand that this was not some tragic accident or a couple of kids just getting out of hand on a rainy day. This was a choice. Through the state's eyes, the surveillance video shows a trap being set. Think about how chilling that concept is for a moment. The prosecution breaks down the footage step by step, pausing the video, pointing at the screens to make sure everyone is following along. They point out how Karmelo consciously walks into the memorial team tent area and sits down. Now remember, there are other places he could have gone. Even with the heavy rain pouring down, there were other awnings, other sections of the bleachers where his own teammates were. But he chooses that exact spot, surrounded by a rival team. When the memorial athletes, including Austin METCALF, walk up and tell him to leave, Karmelo has every opportunity in the world to just stand up, walk out into the rain, and walk away.
Right.
If he does that, Austin goes home to his family that afternoon. We are not here talking about this. Instead, he stays seated. He essentially anchors himself to the metal bleachers. It is really hard to sit in a courtroom and listen to this, especially when you look over at Austin's family. You see his parents sitting there in the front row, just having to absorb the idea that their boy walked right into a situation that was escalating by design. I look at him and just think, wow, the pain of hearing someone break down your son's last moments like a tactical play on a whiteboard is unimaginable. You can see the physical toll it takes on them every time the prosecutor points at the screen. And then you have Hunter, the twin brother. He is sitting right there, listening to the state describe the boy who took his other half. Twins share a bond that most of us cannot even begin to understand, and Hunter had to watch that bond get severed in real time. So, when the prosecution brings up witness after witness to the stand to drive this point home, the emotion in the room is just raw. We are talking about teenagers, kids who had to watch their classmate bleed out, now having to sit in a sterile courtroom, put their hand on a Bible, and recount every single second of it under oath. These young witnesses testify that Karmelo was asked to leave over and over again. Not once, not twice, but repeatedly. Instead of leaving, the witnesses say Karmelo just sat there with his hands completely hidden inside his backpack, which was resting right on his lap. Just picture that for a second. Put yourself right there under that crowded tent. The tension is rising, the rain is loud, people are yelling at him to move, and he is just sitting there with his hands concealed in a bag. When Austin finally told him to get out in a more forceful way, Karmelo allegedly looked back at him and said, "Touch me and find out, or punch me and see what happens." When I read those words in the court transcripts, I just paused. Right? That changes the entire complexion of the argument. That is not the behavior of someone who is scared or trying to avoid a conflict. That is the behavior of someone drawing a line in the sand and daring another person to cross it.
Right.
The state wants the jury to focus entirely on one specific word, and that word is intent. In a normal high school fist fight, we all know how it goes.
Right.
Kids shove each other, they throw some sloppy punches, maybe someone gets a bloody nose or a bruised ego, a coach breaks it up, and everyone gets suspended. It is a tale as old as time. But the prosecution heavily highlights the weapon choice to prove this was never, ever going to be just a fist fight. Karmelo was carrying a 3.5-inch folding knife inside his bag. If you haven't subscribed to US Crime Cases yet, hit that button now. We dive into the psychology of cases like this every single week. So let's talk about the physical mechanics of using a folding knife for a moment, because the prosecution spends a lot of time on this. Right? You do not just accidentally use it. It is not like picking up a random rock on the ground in the heat of the moment, and it is definitely not like just throwing a blind punch when you feel threatened. Using a weapon like that requires intentional steps.
Right.
You have to actively decide to reach into your bag. You have to feel around and find the knife among your school things, pull it out, manually flip the blade open so it securely locks into place, grip the handle tight so it doesn't slip, and then physically drive it forward into another human being's chest. I see the prosecutor pantomiming this exact motion for the jury, and it is an incredibly powerful, disturbing visual. It forces everyone to realize that between the shove and the stab, there were multiple micro-decisions made. The state frames this specific series of actions not as some blind, instinctual reaction to a high school argument getting a little too heated. They frame it as a deliberate, malicious choice. They argue that Karmelo escalated the fight from zero to lethal force in a split second. He bypassed the shoving, bypassed the punching, and went straight to the knife.
Right.
The district attorney looked right at the jury and called it a sneak attack.
He was scared to fight.
Hearing those words echo in a silent courtroom, you cannot help but look over at Austin's twin brother, Hunter. You realize the absolute nightmare he is living every single day. He lost his brother, his other half, to a sneak attack over a seat on a bleacher. It is just completely devastating. You really feel the gravity of it in that room. And just when the jury is trying to process the sheer mechanics of the stabbing and the emotional weight of it all, the prosecution drops their heaviest piece of evidence. This is the moment everyone in the gallery leans forward. They play the police body cam footage from the exact moment Karmelo was detained outside the stadium, just minutes after the stabbing. You watch the screen in the courtroom, and it is shaky, chaotic footage. You can hear the rain, the sirens, the yelling. Officer Eduardo Cortez points his weapon, commands Karmelo to raise his hands, and places him in handcuffs right there on the wet pavement. It is a highly charged, adrenaline-fueled situation. On the live body cam audio, you hear the officer talking into his shoulder radio, telling dispatch that he has the alleged suspect detained. And then it happens. Karmelo looks directly at the police officers, completely unbothered by the rain or the flashing red and blue lights, and says, "I'm not alleged. I did it." When that audio plays, a chill just goes right through the room. I see exactly why the prosecution leans so heavily on this one short sentence. For them, this is the absolute final nail in the coffin. They frame this raw audio snippet as an unremorseful, definitive confession caught live on tape. When you listen closely to the audio, there is no crying. There is no shaking or panic in his voice. There is no denial, no frantic explaining about how he was scared or how things got out of control. There are no tears. It is just a cold, flat, matter-of-fact admission that he drove the knife into Austin Metcalf's chest. It almost sounds like he is just stating the weather. The state looks at the jury, sweeps their gaze across the 12 people who hold Karmelo's fate in their hands, and tells them the story is incredibly simple. You do not need to overthink the blurry video. You do not need to analyze the crowd or the rain delay. Karmelo picked a fight by sitting where he knew perfectly well he did not belong. He waited patiently for someone to take the bait. When Austin finally took that bait and engaged him, Karmelo used a hidden weapon to win the fight instantly, and then he boldly admitted it to the cops right after, almost like he was correcting them for daring to call him alleged. It is a narrative that paints a very dark picture of a 17-year-old kid. By the end of the prosecution's presentation, the courtroom is heavy. I mean, you can practically hear a pin drop. It is suffocating. The state has built this massive, seemingly impenetrable wall of evidence.
So what do you think about that, Blue Diamond?
Waiting on
Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, the intentions on killing somebody, hurting somebody, right?
Yeah.
They have painted a clear, terrifying picture that makes Karmelo Anthony look like a highly aggressive, calculated threat who brought a deadly weapon to a rainy track meet and used it without a single second thought. They made sure the jury deeply felt the weight of Austin's lost life, and they made sure the jury heard the defendant claim responsibility right on camera with zero hesitation. At this point, if you are sitting in the gallery observing the faces of the jury, you are probably thinking the trial is basically over. The evidence feels that strong, that overwhelming. The prosecution did exactly what they needed to do. They told a cohesive, tragic story. But you know how these high-stakes trials go. Nothing is ever as simple as it seems on the first pass. Just as the jury is ready to make up their minds, feeling like they've seen all they need to see, the defense attorney steps up to the podium, the room holds its collective breath, and the defense is about to take everything the jury just watched, every single piece of evidence the state just meticulously laid out, and flip it entirely upside down. The room holds its collective breath as the defense attorney steps up to the podium, and right away he completely shatters the illusion of that video. You know, the state just played that footage and confidently told the jury exactly what they were looking at, framing it as this calculated, inescapable trap. But the defense stops, looks at the jury, and essentially asks them to just look closer, to really use their own eyes and stop blindly accepting the state's narrative. Let's talk about those cameras for a second. There are 5 security cameras positioned all around that stadium, but they are bolted high up on the light poles and the press box. They are designed to capture broad, wide-angle views of the track and the football field, not intimate details of a fight under an awning. The defense points out that the footage is incredibly hazy. It is degraded, pixelated, and completely washed out by the severe storm. When you zoom in on the Memorial Team tent, you cannot actually see faces. You definitely cannot see hands, and you absolutely cannot see individual precise movements. Wow. It is basically just a blurry, chaotic blob of people shifting around under a dark canvas roof while heavy rain pours down all around them. The defense attorney looks at the jurors and argues that the state is just projecting a story of cold-blooded murder onto a blurry shadow. He points out how incredibly dangerous it is to look at a cluster of gray pixels and confidently declare that it proves a teenager had malicious intent in his heart. It makes you second-guess everything you just watched. Then the defense introduces the single most important context of the entire trial. This is the piece that changes how you view everything. The piece the prosecution tried to completely gloss over. The stark physical disparity between these two boys. Up until now, the prosecution just painted Austin Metcalf as another student asking Karmelo to leave the tent. Just 2 high school kids arguing over a seat on a rainy day. But the defense pulls out the actual physical statistics, and I see people in the courtroom physically react to the numbers, right? Austin Metcalf was a massive varsity football linebacker. He stood at 6 feet 1 inch tall, and he weighed a solid 215 pounds. He was a highly conditioned athlete built to tackle people, built to overpower opponents on a football field.
Built to beat the shit out of him. That's why he was scared.
His body was literally trained for physical impact.
That's right.
Karmelo Anthony, on the other hand, was 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed around 130 pounds. Just let that sink in for a second. That is an 85-pound weight difference. In combat sports, they wouldn't even let these two step into the same room together, let alone fight. It is a fundamental mismatch. If you are 130 pounds sitting down and a guy almost twice your size is towering over you, demanding you move, the intimidation factor is completely off the charts. Your brain immediately registers that you're in severe physical danger if things go south. I see exactly how the defense played this. They didn't just deny the state's timeline, they completely flipped the perspective. They bring those exact same teenage witnesses back to the stand, the ones who said Karmelo wouldn't move and just sat there. But this time, the defense asks different questions. They get them to admit what really triggered the sudden violence, because it was not Karmelo who threw the first physical strike. Under oath, the defense draws out the admission that Austin Metcalf actually initiated the physical contact. A 215-pound linebacker leaned over and delivered a violent, two-handed shove to the shoulders of a seated 130-pound kid. Think about the physics of that. Think about the sheer force. You are trapped on metal bleachers, boxed in by a massive storm, surrounded by kids from a rival school who actively want you gone. You literally cannot just stand up and walk backward because there are bleachers behind you, and there's a solid wall of angry athletes in front of you. And then the biggest guy there puts his hands on you and shoves you hard. It shifts the entire dynamic from a stubborn, aggressive kid to a terrified kid acting on pure survival instinct. Your fight or flight response kicks in, but you can't fly because you are cornered. Suddenly, the entire narrative flips. I see the jury leaning back in their chairs, reevaluating everything they thought they knew. This is no longer a story about a kid aggressively looking for a fight and setting a trap for a rival student. It is the terrifying story of an outnumbered, undersized teenager who is completely surrounded by a rival team, trapped under a tent with nowhere to run, who was just physically attacked by a massive...
What about David and Goliath? How big was Goliath to David? Come on, stop with the excuses, you know what I mean? David defeated Goliath. Facts.
Athlete. It changes the whole lens of the case. The defense then takes the state's absolute biggest piece of evidence, that shocking body cam confession, and entirely recontextualizes it. Remember when Karmelo told the officer, "I'm not alleged, I did it," and the prosecution called it a cold-blooded brag? Well, the defense plays the rest of his statements, the ones he made to a coach immediately after the incident, before the cops even cuffed him, when his adrenaline was still spiking. He said, "He put his hands on me. I told him not to. I stabbed him." The defense argues that Karmelo did not say, "I did it" out of malice, pride, or some twisted sense of victory. He said it out of complete transparency because in his mind he had absolutely nothing to hide. He genuinely believed he was legally protecting his own life after being physically assaulted by a much larger aggressor. He didn't try to run away and hide the weapon in a trash can. He didn't deny it to the police because he thought he was entirely in the right. And they point out something huge. He did not stab Austin multiple times. This wasn't a violent frenzy or an attack fueled by rage. He struck exactly one time to get this massive 215-pound threat off of him, dropped the knife right there on the bleachers, and ran for his life to get away from the rest of the football team. That single strike is crucial. It speaks to a panic reaction to create distance, not a calculated, premeditated assassination. This leaves the jury trapped in a profoundly difficult legal dilemma. The judge instructs them to look at the exact wording of the Texas self-defense law. And the wording is tricky when you apply it to the messy reality of real life. Does a physical push from a much larger, heavier individual legally justify the use of a lethal weapon? Does a 130-pound kid have the right to use a folding knife when a 215-pound athlete violently puts his hands on him in a crowded, hostile environment where there is no easy way to retreat? Or did Karmelo completely cross the legal line the exact second he unzipped his bag and opened that blade? It is a heavy question, and the answer is absolutely not black and white. The emotional cost in that courtroom is just suffocating. It is so heavy you can barely breathe. I remember during the playback of the video, both families actually had to step out into the hallway. They simply couldn't bear to watch it again. You have one family completely destroyed, grieving the loss of a vibrant son who literally died in his twin brother's arms over a completely senseless 2-minute argument about a bleacher seat. A family forever broken, staring at an empty chair at the dinner table, knowing that their boys went to a routine track meet and only one came home. And just across the aisle, you have another family watching their teenage son, knowing he might face the rest of his natural life inside a cold, concrete cell for a split-second, panicked decision he made while backed into a corner in the rain. They are terrified they are going to lose their boy forever to the prison system. You look at both sides of that gallery, and you realize there are absolutely no winners here. Just 2 ruined lives, a traumatized community, and 12 ordinary people who have to sit in a jury box and decide what justice even looks like in a tragedy this incredibly dark. Now the case rests entirely in your hands. If you were sitting in that jury box, looking at that exact same blurry stadium footage, what would you see? Would you see a life sentence conviction for a calculated murder, or a young man defending himself against a massive physical threat? Thank you for staying till the end. Please subscribe to U.S. Crime Cases, leave your verdict in the comments below, and see you next time.
No manslaughter, saying murder. I thought it was manslaughter too. They saying guilty of murder on Fox right here. They saying guilty of...
Has it not been announced?
No, that's true.
Justice for Austin, that's right. Justice for Austin, man. Facts. God damn it. What's wrong with them niggas, man? Say his name, Austin Metcalf, God damn it.
Texas has stand your ground law.
Look at these motherfuckers.
Penal code. 9.31.
The pro-blackity blacks.
He had.
Ask her why she ain't in her community with the same energy on that black on black violence. Stop with the foolishness. We don't believe the Black Panther Party like that no more. Y'all fake, God damn it. Y'all don't even be in your own community helping out.
There's no reason to retreat. You don't have to retreat. Understand your ground. He had.
Stand your ground. He was on school grounds. You can't bring no weapon to school. Man, what's wrong with you?
He had the right to be there. He was not the aggressor. This whole thing been racist. It was supposed to be a public court. They had a private court, all white jury.
As long as there's accountability and justice served, man, that's just what I'm with.
That's right.
You know, I don't think we can set a precedent anywhere. If you come up, push me or shove me, or I can just automatically reach for a knife. You know, I believe in self-defense. Don't get me wrong, proportional. But I just don't think, because this would end up setting a precedent right here, in my opinion.
Karmelo Anthony gonna have to deal with this for 30 years, goddammit. For 35 years.
You gonna eat your cornbread.
Trevor.
You gonna eat your cornbread.
Trevor.
You gonna eat your cornbread.
Trevor. Don't say that, Jack.
You talking to me?
Yeah, I think you're talking to you.
No, not at all. I want you to have it. Will you mind passing this down to...
Hey, no, I ain't good. Don't pass your cornbread to him. That's your cornbread.
Ray, I'm a grown man. Okay, I'm not gonna eat this cornbread. If he wants the cornbread, damn it.
Now, if he wants some cornbread, let him go up to the front and get his own portion of cornbread. That's your cornbread. Fuck him. Hey, man, he gonna eat his cornbread, all right? Fuck you.
Ray, look, I don't need you to take up for me. I'm all right. I'm a grown man. I can handle it.
You let him have your cornbread, you're gonna be ironing his drawers and clipping his toenails. Shit, I don't need to iron.
Maybe I ought to eat your cornbread.
Look, I don't need you to take up for me. I'm
toenails. Shit, I don't need to iron.
Maybe I ought to eat your cornbread.
Oh, motherfucker, you can't have my cornbread. That's for damn sure. Because if you try to take my cornbread, part 2 of my killing spree gonna begin up in here on your ass right now. If you think about my cornbread to get the taste out your mouth, that's for damn sure. Now fuck him, fuck that, because I'm from New York City, goddammit. Nobody take no cornbread from me. And that go for you and any other you motherfucking farmers want to try some shit. You fuck around with me, it's gonna be consequences and repercussions.